Welcome to another video by me, Martin Gallois. Welcome to another video. I'm your host, Martin Gallois. Jackie, there's nothing in it. Of course I finished my milk. Today, we're gonna talk about electives at McGill, and I'm gonna talk about what electives are, how you can choose them, and how they're kind of important in your curriculum in the end. So sit tight, relax, and let me do the talking. Boom, different angle. Electives at McGill. What are electives? Electives are courses that you can choose throughout a wide variety of courses at McGill that won't count for your major, your minor, your honors degree, whatever. It's just courses that you choose for fun, usually. So you can have two ways of going at it. You can choose easy courses or courses that are not in your major or minor area. For example, I'm studying physics, but at one point I chose an elective in Greek and Roman history because it interests me and it's totally different from science, but it was interesting, and in the end I had a blast taking it. So I recommend you take classes, electives, when you can, towards fields that you like, but that you're not studying in. Another way of taking your electives is to choose an elective in the field that you're studying in, but that is not counting towards your major or your minor. I have a friend who's taking an elective in astrophysics, a 300 level class, even though he's taking a joint major in physics and computer science because he is doing research with the prof that is teaching this class and wants to know a bit more about the subject. Now, there's another important question. When do you take electives? Because you have a schedule for classes to take in which semesters. Usually it's laid out on the McGill website for you in your program page. But you see that sometimes you have 3 or 4 classes that you have to take. And because usually you can take up to 5 or 6 classes if you really want to have a big workload. It's possible, people do it, but usually almost no one takes 6 classes. So you can go up to 5 classes. If you have 4 classes for your major, you can take 1 elective. Then, according to the workload that you have for your classes that you have to take, you can take an easier elective. Easier electives are usually 100 level classes, like natural disasters, which is ATOC 185 that I took in my first semester because I really like natural disasters and how they develop, and I really liked the class, and it was easy, as well as we had fun projects that were really different from what I've been doing the rest of my years at McGill. We had poster presentations that I've never done in math or physics class because we just don't do presentation in those classes. So it's really fun to also discover different subjects and different method and projects in teaching that you won't necessarily encounter in your major. Now, if you still want to watch the rest of my video, I'm gonna talk about my experience with electives. I've taken quite a few electives, especially first year, because I was coming from France and not all the credits transferred into coming into first year, so I had to catch up on some freshman program. So I had to take some classes in freshman program, but not all of them, which left spaces in my schedule that I filled with electives. So first year, the first semester, I took natural disasters. It was really fun, not too hard, and if you're already interested in what the class is about, you won't have a lot of difficulty in it. There's term paper, there's poster presentations, there's some small assignments and a midterm, mostly about general knowledge and concepts learned in that class. And I do think that most electives are within that format where it's not developing specific skills that are hard to learn, it's more about knowledge and about a certain subject. I also took Comp 202, which is about Java programming, as an elective. And I loved it so much that I actually switched my minor from atmospheric sciences to computer coding, computer science, because I discovered it in university through that class. And this is why electives are so important. You can literally discover something that you've never studied before and you're gonna love it. And I'm really glad I took that elective. I thought it was going to be very helpful for physics, which it is, but especially it's a thing on its own now, and that's my minor because I'm interested in computer coding by itself, not necessarily towards physics. So yeah, do try electives that are within your field of interest that you think you're going to be interested in, but also it doesn't have to be in your faculty. I took electives in science for computer coding and natural disaster, but also in arts. I took an elective in Roman and Greek history. It was really cool, and I wrote essays, which it was the only time I wrote essays since high school, and it was really fun. Um, I really like ancient history, and it was the occasion to learn more about something that I like, but I don't necessarily want to study. What I like about university is that you can be curious about a lot of stuff and literally learn about it. In classes, for me, that's through what you're studying in your program. You can be curious about what you're studying and then you learn a lot about it. But also through electives, about stuff that you don't necessarily want to study. You want to learn a bit more of a certain language, you can take an elective for it. You want to learn about a bit of history, economics, gender studies, whatever, anthropology. You can just take 1 or 2 classes on it, and it doesn't have to be an important part of your curriculum. And that also is the fact for clubs, social events at McGill. You can be curious about something and join one event of a club without even joining the whole club. You can be curious and try new things. So if you want a last piece of advice for choosing electives, or even if you should choose electives or not choose them at all, I'd say go for it. Choose different electives, stuff that you're interested in, not even passionate about, but you're interested in and you want to discover what it is about. I'd say go for it, try new stuff, and most likely you'll have fun, a lot of fun like me, and sometimes it'll be a breath of fresh air within your semester. If you have a lot of classes that are hard about the same subjects, then you go to that one elective and you're happy. It's a bit different than the rest of the stuff that you're doing this semester. Thanks for watching the video. If you like those kind of videos, I'm most probably gonna post more of them on my channel. I'm just starting to get into a rhythm of doing advice, helpful videos for new students at McGill or students who are curious about going to McGill. Subscribe to my channel if you want more of those videos, and of course watch my vlogs about being a student in McGill. I'm going through some of my classes as well as discovering different stuff in Montreal. So if that's something that would interest you, do subscribe, watch my videos, and I will see you tomorrow.